But of course, it doesn't end there. Donald Trump actually is a little bit concerned about the temperature of the FBI, or rather, in the heels of another man that fatally shot himself after crashing a car into a barricade near the U.S. Capitol building, where the incident happened at 4 a.m. Eastern time. When the man drove his car into a barricade at East Capitol Street and 2nd Street, he then exited his car, which became engulfed in flames, and fired several shots into the air. He then fatally shot himself when authorities approached him, and there were no additional injuries. He was a 29-year-old man from Delaware. At this time, it does not appear the man was targeting any members of Congress who were on recess, and it does not appear the officers fired their weapons, the USCP statement said earlier on Sunday. DC's Metropolitan Police Department is handling the death investigation. U.S. Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger said during a news conference that he had a criminal history from over past 10 years or so, but that there was no information to indicate motive and no political ideology we're aware of at this point. So we don't even know what the fuck this was, okay? Only speculation on that. But yeah, he just like rammed his car into a barricade, lit the car on fire, shot a couple shots in the air, and then killed himself. Yeah, Sigma Grind said he's on that Sigma shit, okay? But you know, he is from Delaware after all, so you never know. But that's one of the you know, quirked up white boys. Here's some more quirked up white boys out there.
Just into CNN, a group
Let's take a look. A bunch of armed Trump supporters gathered outside of the Phoenix FBI office. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because it's going to lead into why I think Donald Trump's like, all right, now let's dial it back a little bit. We're going a little crazy.
Armed Trump supporters gathered outside the FBI office in Phoenix, Arizona. Photographs taken this morning showed Trump supporters carrying handguns and assault-style weapons on the street. That is allowed under Arizona's open carry law. One of the demonstrators said they're at that location to support Trump and protest what they call...
Good thing they don't have a fucking nail gun. That's when you know shit's popping. You know what I mean? Like our brave boy over, what was it, Dick Schiffer? The brave man, Dick Schiffer. What a legend. With a fucking nail gun, dude.
Call the unlawful search at Mar-a-Lago. Now, this week, the FBI, along with the Department of Homeland Security, issued a joint intelligence bulletin warning of violent threats against federal law enforcement, courts, and government personnel, as well as facilities.
Following the FBI search of Mar-a-Lago, the Bureau is monitoring an unprecedented number of threats fueled by dangerous statements like these.
This is Gestapo crap.
Dude, I love that. Okay. I thought that they would move to like a TikTok, like a hog talk that we've looked at. You know what I mean? No. The greatest hog talk of all. Fucking Lobo. Lauren motherfucking Boebert. She's already giving the content directly to you. You don't even need to search far and wide to find like some random HVAC guy in Arkansas being like, I'm going to kill the FBI. It's like, no, you got sitting representatives that will say it for you.
And it will not stand. The Department of Injustice needs to be clean.
Oh, fucking no! Woohoo! She said the Department of Injustice. God, they're so whack, dude. It's so funny. They're like, the Department of Injustice? We will not stand for this injustice from the Department of Injustice. Aaron Sorkin. That's Aaron Sorkin shit. Okay? That is the liberalization of the American hoglet, okay? Straight up, 100%.
Cleaned out if they're going to start pretending we're some sort of banana republic.
This should scare the living daylights out of American citizens and say, we have got to change our federal government. The way our federal government has gone, it's like what we thought about the Gestapo and people like that they just go after people.
You said you would. It's my birthday wish. What is this? What? Dude, what? I don't care, okay? What do you mean? Like, what the fuck? What, you want me to fucking watch Bible Man right now? You want me to drop everything and watch Bible Man currently? We're in the middle of the fucking news cycle. We'll do Bible Man eventually, okay? Happy fucking birthday. But like, what are you, crazy? I'm doing the news right now. That's actually not as bad. We are going to watch Bible Man. I said that we would do it, and we will eventually watch it, but like not right now, obviously.
What we thought about Soviet Union, what we look at Latin America, we have got to say to ourselves, this cannot be our country.
Just yesterday, the name.
Yeah. By the way, if we're talking about like banana republics or like corruption in Latin American countries, okay, outside of like our involvement, our direct involvement in that corrupt form of governance being established in said countries, Rick Scott himself is a perfect example of like the most Latin American corrupt politician in America. A man who was investigated for Medicare fraud for his like company. You know what I mean? Like this guy straight up literally was investigated and was charged for doing fraud. Like that's literally direct 1-to-1. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, Banana Republic?
Names of the two agents who signed the search warrant paperwork were circulating online after the unredacted warrant was leaked. Joining me now is Peter Strzok. He is a former FBI counterintelligence official who played a central role in both the Hillary Clinton email and Trump-Russia investigations. He's also the author of Compromised: Counterintelligence and the Threat of Donald J. Trump. Peter, one of the most amusing things that I saw in the past week, I think I saw one Republican.
Which, for the record here, like, if you want to know, Rick Scott oversaw the largest Medicare fraud in the nation's history. Okay? His prior tenure as the CEO of Columbia/HCA about a decade ago when the hospital company was fined $1.7 billion for Medicare fraud. And then Florida was like, that's our guy. We need to make him the governor. So understand how fucking cucked Republicans are all around the country, okay? So for Rick Scott to turn around and be like, yeah, that's so fucked up. Man, a real banana republic. Yeah, dude, because you weren't fucking executed. We are a banana republic. Because a normal country that looks to that, okay, and watches a dude engage in the largest Medicare fraud, like taking money from the government, okay, that is supposed to fucking heal people and line up your executive profits, yeah, a normal country would literally be like, all right, well, you have to be hanged by public execution. Except in Florida, they make you the fucking governor. Also, no one has ever like Rick Scott literally just looks like an evil person. That's the other thing. Like Rick Scott, much like Ted Cruz, just looks like shit, which makes it even funnier. Like even on a purely aesthetic basis, right? You got a motherfucker looking like Voldemort out here, and you're like, nah, that's my guy. Love that guy. Love that man. That's my governor, baby. I mean, he just looks like a lizard person. How do you vote for this motherfucker, dude? He is villain coded. He straight up is. He is exactly villain coded. My man looks like a fucking demon, dude. Medical fraud is the only natural industry Florida has. That and gator wrestling. Thought I'd seen him somewhere. Yeah. How are you going to take the most gigantic fucking L and like, elect a skinwalker to a position of authority like this after they also demonstrated that they're villainous? You know what I mean? It's not like it's not like up to debate. You know what I mean? And then this motherfucker goes on Fox News and is like, wow, I can't believe it.
Lawmakers saying, well, where was all the attention to Hillary Clinton's emails? Of course, I remember when James Comey came out with that 11 days before the 2016 election, had a very big impact on that election. But what do you say to those voices on the far right who spent all week slamming the Bureau's integrity and I mean, really using the kind of language that could lead to violence, could animate some extremist out there who might be thinking about doing something violent.
Yeah, grow up. This is wildly irresponsible. This is directly leading to violence.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. What do you mean grow up? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, they'll grow up. No, dude. No, let the contradictions play itself out. That's what I say. That's content. That's content. Just let it, because like here's what I think, okay? As long as they're still like trying to penetrate hard targets like the fucking FBI field office, who cares? They're only going to fuck themselves, you know what I mean? They're not going to actually do a fucking violent revolution by taking down the FBI office. First of all, if you want to do that, you have to take over like areas of I guess what would it be like the electric grid, you know what I mean? You can't fucking go after the FBI field office. There's nothing going on there. Okay? This is not advice, obviously. I'm just saying that like it is the same as you have to like infiltrate or target strategic targets, right? You can't just like fucking go into the FBI field office and be like, yeah, that's right, we're doing a revolution. Like you're gonna get fucking owned. So my point is, okay, and obviously this is not advice. Don't write this down. Stop writing it down. Stop writing it down. My point is, hogs and hogalinas going to the fucking Cincinnati FBI office or the Arizona FBI office to do a demonstration, a show of force, is the exact same kind of idiotic energy of the January 6th insurrection, right? Where it's like, that's not a coup. That's not how you do a coup, dumbass. You don't just like fucking try to stop a symbolic process from playing itself out once the votes have already been counted 1 million times over. That's not like, yeah, you're going to ruffle some feathers. People are going to get killed. People are going to get, into trouble. You might go to jail, right? When your Hasanabi head son it reports you to the authorities, okay? But like, you're doing something that is playing itself out in the dumbest way possible. Okay? I mean, stopping a vote from happening is how Bush got elected? Yes. That was a successful way to do it. That wasn't a symbolic, that wasn't a symbolic like, let's fucking stop the symbolic part of this presentation of like the symbolic part of this process where they're like authorizing the votes or whatever after all the ballots have been cast and they've been fucking calculated or tabulated. That was legitimately the appropriate action to fucking take from a competent Republican Party that had their eyes on the fucking prize and went in to a location. They had already infiltrated some of these institutions, like the Supreme Court. They already had Jeb Bush as the governor, helping out his brother win the election. That is entirely different than like deciding to do the Brooks Brothers riot at the last fucking second in the halls of Congress as they are authorizing votes that have already been tabulated, counted 10 times over. You know? And the same exact like idiotic, incompetent potato energy exists within the Arizona FBI office being threatened by armed protesters. Like, that's not how you do like a violent revolution. Okay?
It is inflaming people. It is causing things like a gunman approaching the Cincinnati field office of the FBI, brandishing a weapon, leading people on a car chase and, ending in his death. This is something we know from decades of the global war on terror, the things that you try and do to de-radicalize people. You approach political leaders, community leaders, faith leaders, and you tell them to dial back the rhetoric. What we're seeing in America today is the opposite. And, to your point, with a team of about 20 people, I spent a year and a half working on Hillary Clinton's email server, where we executed multiple search warrants. I never heard one Republican once raise a finger talking about how we were using Gestapo tactics or overreaching. From the Democrats, behaving like responsible.
No, they're literally saying you should have fucking killed her in a raid, or at least like her dog. And because you didn't do that, the FBI is compromised, like they're pussies. That's literally what they're saying. Because there is no moral consistency. Let's drop this, okay? Let's drop this notion that there is any kind of fucking moral consistency, okay? There isn't one. The only consistent value that both liberals and Republicans hold on to so desperately is hurt my enemies, okay? I'm on Team Lib. You're on Team Republican. I want the Team Republican to be hurt. I want them to feel pain. And this has been the guiding motivation of the Republican base in perpetuity. And now at least liberals are kind of like getting in on that fun too, which I don't personally have too much of an issue with, because at this point it's like we're not going to do anything through the legislative agenda. All we're going to get is like, tax credits for corporations that are like, yeah, we're going to do carbon capture. You know what I mean? So pretty much like on that front, we're not going to get like real action unless there is like legitimate organizing happening on the fucking ground that will create a mechanism of enforcement, a mechanism of regulation towards the Democratic Party to urge them or to threaten them to do the right thing. We're not going to be able to use the electoral options. So just have fun with it. That's my take on it. You know what I mean? My take is like, let's just have fun. Let the hogs hog out.
American citizens.
You mean like votes? No, motherfucker. By like threatening the powers of capital, threatening capital, striking it at its heart, okay, at its profit margins. No, I don't mean like voting. What do you mean voting? What the fuck? You voted for Joe Biden. What happened? Are you happy? Did he fucking solve problems for you? No, shut the fuck up. There you go. People will be like, dude, what do you mean, like voting, like a mechanism of change and control through voting? Yeah, dude, it was so sick when we voted, and then also voted again in Georgia, and then like we got actually a majority in the Congress, and then yet still everyone was like $15 minimum wage, broadly popular, almost universally popular. Sorry, can't have that. Senate parliamentarians said no. So what happened? You voted. You voted so fucking hard. Dude, I voted illegally, dude. I love voting. I love voting so much. I was voting illegally. I was urging all of my undocumented immigrants to vote 3 times, 4 times, because you know how the Democratic Party works. Like, we are able to vote illegally all the time. Like, that's the only way that we win elections, right? I was fucking voting so hard. And what happened? Nothing, motherfucker. Roe v. Wade got overturned by the Supreme Court. So what happened? Yeah.
Letting the FBI do its job, and that's what the Republicans need to do here. The FBI has a job to do to enforce the laws of the United States, and it should.
Your outlook has changed since you've obtained financial security? No. You fail to comprehend exactly what I'm saying. Also, you've been only following since January 6, 2021, which is hilarious because I was incredibly financially secure back then as I am now. So what the fuck do you know about my attitude when you are a bandwagon follower? Pickle Rick ass motherfucker. Anyway. Also, there is probably not a better representation of a individual chatter's like personal lack of comprehension when I'm in the process of describing external forces and the necessity for a mechanism of enforcing a mechanism of enforcement and a mechanism to strike back at the Democratic Party, which is literally like not someone who is financially stable would ever fucking say. Financial stability implies I tell you to shut the fuck up and vote, not the opposite. Okay? All right, let's continue.
It's beyond the pale that there are senators, United States senators, who are going along and nodding their head up and down with suggestions that the FBI plants evidence are things which are extraordinarily wrong. And these people know better. And for them to be continuing to say that, in light of everything we're now seeing, the constant flow of classified material that's being recovered out of Mar-a-Lago, false statements apparently by attorneys to President Trump saying that nothing remained. There isn't any basis to be making these claims. It is leading to violence, and it needs to stop.
Yeah, it almost reminds me, Peter, of some of the incendiary rhetoric that we heard leading up to January 6th. And we saw, of course, that spasm of violence on that day, which obviously is the subject of the January 6th investigation. And all of that is sort of not really on the front page right now because we're focusing so much on what occurred at Mar-a-Lago a few days ago. But let's just clear something up. If it were any other person not named Trump who had 11 sets of classified documents at their home, including items marked top secret SCI, how would you be treated by the FBI? I mean, it's almost because Trump goes after people. He engages in character assassination. He's gone after you, for example, and so on, that the Justice Department, the FBI,
I think the U.S. is in a much position now than we would have been without voting 2 years ago. I can list the key pieces off: coronavirus relief bill, bipartisan infrastructure, Inflation Reduction Act, biggest climate action. I'd encourage you to want more, but to act like the 50-50 Senate did not get us these things is disingenuous. I mean, I am saying that. I'm saying that the 50-50 Senate got us the fucking bare minimum, but also on top of that, things that the 50-50 Senate should be able to protect, the Republican Party is slowly but surely undermining regardless of our voting. So we clearly need another outside factor on top of voting, because voting hard has not helped you. You are saying that because you want me to tell you a nice little tale so you feel good about your action. You want to feel good. You did your job, you did your civic duty, and now you're like, all right, well, what the fuck? Why aren't you telling me that it's good? Why aren't you telling me that like it's enough? Because it's not enough.
correct me if I'm wrong here, they do, I guess, treat the former president somewhat carefully because of what he can unleash.
Right. And I think, Trump has a history of playing in the margins of legality. He finds where that line is, he goes right up to it, and he pushes it to see whether or not he can get away with something. That was magnified when he became president, just because of the history of deference we have in this country to the presidency. So things which were never really codified, things that were always accepted as common practice, he walked right past that. And whether it was disregarding questions that Special Counsel Mueller asked of him, refusing to be interviewed in person, whether it's things like this where he's claiming first that he didn't have documents, then that he turned them in, then that he declassified them. There's just nothing there that, he won't push the boundary. Now, when it comes to my experience, I know from personal experience, several very high-level, high-ranking government officials that I was present executing a search warrant because there was no offer of a subpoena. There was no reach out to their attorney to try and negotiate the return of something which we suspected they had.
What things outside of voting do you suggest then? Genuine question. I already described it. Organize. Without a labor council, without an overarching labor movement to bully the Democratic Party into doing the right thing in times when it feels kind of hard to do so, you're not going to do that. You're not going to be able to get anything, okay? You're going to constantly find a Democratic Party that is working to undermine your interest after advocating for said values when they were campaigning. They're fake friends, okay? They're fucking fake friends.
If they had classified information and they didn't have authorization to have it, it was contraband. We went to a judge, we got a search warrant, we executed that and recovered the material. So there's just no question in my mind that Trump is being treated differently, and largely because of who he is, but also because of his position as a...
Tweeting is also good? No, stop tweeting. Never tweet. I'm doing enough of that. You don't have to do it as well, okay? Stop. No, tweeting is the worst thing you can do. Okay. I hate motherfuckers who think like, oh, I'm tweeting a revolution. You're not. You're not doing anything. It doesn't mean shit. You're not doing shit. As a matter of fact, the only thing you're doing is like just, scaring people. You're scaring all the hoes. Stop tweeting. Never tweet. If you think you're actually doing praxis by tweeting, okay, whatever the fuck that means, you're probably doing the exact opposite. You're scaring the hoes, okay? Stop tweeting. Never tweet. Your tweets don't matter. Nobody cares.
The former president.
And Peter, here's the question that I have that has not been answered, and that is, why is a former president of the United States in possession of all of this top secret material? Do all of our former presidents have mansions and resort properties where they keep a room full of top secret classified material? I mean, why does he have this stuff?
Jim, he's an outlier. There is nobody else, no other president that I'm aware of, and certainly when I was an FBI agent, there is no other president in my experience that ever had classified information, let alone this volume. What troubles me the most about this case, I cannot understand why he maintained that material. The intelligence community struggled on a daily, day in, day out basis.
Do you think your sexist language could also be scaring away people? Absolutely not. No, because like the overwhelming majority of people are genuinely sexist and not like ironically using sexist terminology while talking about something that is like very serious. Yeah. No, we live in a patriarchal society, so that kind of stuff probably makes me seem more normal as a human being than anything else.
To try.
But thank you for the question. That's fine.
Get him to pay attention to the president's daily brief. They tried and struggled to get him to listen to the intelligence community. He was happy to listen to Vladimir Putin, but he had no appetite to sit and listen to what it was that folks within the intel community were trying to tell him. Now suddenly, he's out of office.
Not gonna lie, bad take. Well, I think I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm. Wait, what did he say? Oh, debate lord detected. Hold on, you banned him before he did a follow up. He said, well, we also live in a racist society. Why don't you do racism? Would that make you seem more relatable too? Yes. Do you want me to do more racism? Is that what it is? I could be way more racist. I'll amp it up for you, okay? Fuck Italians. There. See that? I'm on my racism arc. Genuinely can't tell if you're serious. What? No, dude. I can't be too racist, unfortunately. I've been banned for anti-white racism before, so I already have a big mark for my racism.
And he suddenly pivots to take 27 boxes of classified material that he couldn't be bothered to read while he was the president. He's not writing some detailed memoir about the political ins and outs of what he accomplished in the Middle East or with North Korea. It makes no sense why he would keep it. And that really, when you look at what it is that he appears to have had.
By the way, Moz, the person that you guys banned for 7 days, you can unban him. I mean, we can have a little bit of fun with her. You know what I mean?
That is really, really troubling.
Yeah, Peter, I mean, the former president, he's put out all kinds of fundraising emails in the last several days. He's put out lots of statements and posts on his Truth Social website. We haven't heard, why does he have this stuff? And, if he or his people are listening, can they just offer that explanation? Why do they have all this top secret material at Mar-a-Lago? I think it's a question that needs to be answered. Peter Strzok, thank you.
Speaking of Jim Acosta, he had a great moment here. This was basic coverage, but let's take a look at what's happening with the Forward Party, guys. Let's see what's happening with the Forward Party. Andrew Yang of the Forward Party recently had a convo with Jim Acosta.
On both sides.
But you're going to have
and
to
that
come up
has
with policy
really
positions.
negative results.
Right,
we
but
just
Andrew,
need a better system.
Yeah, but Andrew, you're going to have policy positions at some point. How does the Forward Party feel about Roe versus Wade? Should it have been overturned?
Well, I personally think that women's reproductive rights are fundamental human rights. But the Forward Party has not left or right.
What do you mean, but? Why'd you say but the Forward Party after that? You're supposed to say and then follow through. It's your fucking party. What do you mean?
But forward stance on even the most divisive rights are fundamental human rights. But the Forward Party has not left or right, but forward stance on even the most divisive and contentious issues.
Well, what does that
there's
mean?
a
Don't you have to
common
take a
sense
position on
majority
something?
view
Don't you have to
on
take a
most all
position on
of-
something? You can't just say, well, this is a hot button issue, so I'm not going to take a position on you. You know, if you want to run the country, you're going to have to make some hard decisions, Andrew.
Again, the Forward Party is about that common sense consensus majority view, which is very clear on abortion. It's clear.
What about
on
guns? What about
It's
assault
clear
weapons?
On climate change. It's actually clear on just about every issue under the sun.
Should 18-year-olds
And
be
we're
able
not
to buy
getting progress on any of those
AR-15s?
issues because of the nature of our system.
Should 18-year-olds be able to buy AR-15s?
Again, the common sense consensus majority is that there should be some rules around background checks and access to firearms. But we're not getting any of these things, Jim, because the two-party system does not need to deliver.
But it doesn't sound
any
like you're
meaningful
taking any
solution
hard
for the two
positions.
parties
It
to
sounds like
continue
you're
to trade power.
It sounds like you're sort of a fill-in-the-blank party. If somebody wants a party with no clear policy positions, you're it. But unfortunately, in the real world,
I love that, like, Jim Acosta will fucking dagger Andrew Yang for fence sitting, but, like, routinely offers this, routinely will refuse to offer this level of pushback on, like, any other Democrat who operates exactly like Andrew Yang. You know what I mean?
In the real world, you have to take a position on something.
Well, we're for the common sense consensus.
Also, he's one step away from buckling, which is the classic. If I were a debate pervert, which I'm not, okay, my immediate question would be like, okay, what about when the common sense consensus is like that black people shouldn't be able to drink from the same water fountain as white people? What's the Forward Party's stance on that? What happens when you actually reach, when you can't reach common consensus on said matters? All right, I'm unbanning the fucking chatter now. Do it. Unleash them. Unleash them. Unleash them upon us. That's what the question, like, they would buckle in a heartbeat on that one. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, okay, well, I guess common sense consensus is, on that issue, it's divisive, so I don't know. Oh, okay, got it. Thanks. Holy shit, you would make the most obnoxious debate pervert? Yeah, I am. Or I was. Not am. And I can be. I just don't choose to be because it fucking sucks. All right. Anyway, here are some of the hogs and hogalinas that went to the Arizona FBI office. Let's take a look at that. FBI, honor your oath. Arrest all traitors. What do they mean? Like, do they mean like arrest them? You know what I mean?
Search for the FBI and they're fighting for our president. They're just recording freedom at work. We're on the right side of history.
Yes, and I'm exercising my Second Amendment rights to protect my First.
Absolutely. We're here fighting for our President Trump. We're here in support of Trump. But what happened to him, the unlawful search for the FBI at his Mar-a-Lago home.
Hey, Trump, do something!
Now we're waiting to see what DeSantis is going to do because Florida happens to be his state. And we want to see if DeSantis is going to step up on the side of Trump and Trump supporters. We're out here standing for freedom.
Yeah,
We are
DeSantis,
sick
do the
and
right
tired
thing.
of this tyrannical government called the Biden regime.
Dude, I love that. It's like the most fucked up grandmas, dude, and grandpas. You know what I mean? They're out there, they're doing their thing. This is like you're fucking bored, okay? You're retired or you have a business, so you don't have to like actually go to work. You know, other people are making money for you. So you just have a lot of free time. This is shit people do when they have a lot of fucking free time. You don't see me out there doing this shit because I'm fucking streaming for 8 hours. You know what I mean? This is that sweet, sweet HVAC life. The other reason is because I'm too busy fucking farming subscriptions at the top of the hour when a 60-second ad break comes. Okay? Because at the top of the hour, there's a 6-second ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime, or which you can get for free by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month, or by getting gifted a sub. That's right. Crack a what? Thank you for the 5 get the subs. Rogelio is dope. Thank you for the 5 get the subs, allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads. Speed Razor with another 10 gifted, allowing 10 people to no longer see the ads. Here's the 1-minute ad break now. Okay? That's how you do it. Pad Fut Mutt, thank you for the 10. Mitchie D, thank you for the 5.
We will not stand by and we will not stand down. We're going to stay out here. We're going to fight, and we're going to take the fight to the FBI if need be. You can record me. You can look for me. I don't care. We're all law-abiding Americans.
Ray Donnell, thank you for the 5.
We're not BLM. We're not Antifa. We are out here, and we're going to stay out here, win the fight. We're going to win this fight on behalf of Trump. If Trump fought for us, we're going to fight for him. Let freedom ring.
And how do you feel about the FBI right now? What do you think they can do to... What can they do to make you happy?
Right now...
Did you ask who he's from?
News to Share.
News to Share. Who the hell is that?
NTS Reports. You can look it up on Twitter right now.
Twitter.
Or YouTube.
I don't do Twitter. I don't do YouTube.
You say, I don't have Twitter. I got banned. Comic Code, thank you for the 5 get the subs. Ducky Strange, thank you for the 5 get it as well.
They're a piece of shit.
Okay. Would you prefer them from Legacy Media?
Healy1920, thank you for the 5 get it.
We're independent.
Okay, so you're talking about the FBI.
Yeah, well, I mean, what could they do to, like, what's something they could do to make you happy? Or can they do anything?
They can't do anything at this point. They've lost all credibility at this point. So we're to the point now where we have to dismantle them and start over. We need American loving. It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on, as long as you're on the side of right. That's what we want. We want the people to do right by this country and vice versa.
And doing right by this country means the FBI needs to give back those classified documents back to Trump. Right? That's like, is that what they mean? Like, what's the goal here? Like, they're mad at the FBI for retrieving classified documents that Trump had at Mar-a-Lago that he's not allowed to have. So, like, the right thing to do in this situation is to give those documents back to him. He should be able to show off to all of his friends in Mar-a-Lago. All right? How dare you take this stuff? That was his. It's called Finders Keepers. And it's called Losers Weepers, okay? Have the FBI thought about not letting them have the documents first? Well, they failed. Leonora, thank you for the 5 gifted. And Julie, high five. I high five you. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
I'll be right back, Robert. So what brings you out here today?
Just people watching.
Just people watching?
Yep.
How do you feel about the FBI right now?
I want them to do their job. And keep to their own.
Should have stepped in his way, Roger. I would have stepped right in his fucking way and made him wait. Turn in the fraudsters, the liars.
and I'm running for office. There's election law that apparently protects me and supposed to protect people like Donald Trump.
This man literally did what I was joking about. And he's like, I'm running for office, so obviously you can't arrest me because I'm running for office. That's right. I get to be a 3%er, and as long as I'm running for office, I can go and shoot people up, okay?
Right now, that man's basically declared. They know he's gonna run for president. And for them to pull this move, this is what they do to Americans though every day. FBI, federal court systems, they will deny you bail. They will deny you a lawyer. Your lawyer from the federal defender, because you can't afford one, is gonna gaslight you. And even the bar lawyers, they facilitate the deprivation.
Brother, you literally are like a back the blue guy talking about like how awful the criminal justice system is. Like, you're right about everything you said, except like you never apply that to the average fucking citizen. You only apply that to like Donald Trump and other small business owners that fucking went and did a hog Disneyland trip inside of the fucking Capitol. Like, what do you mean?
Of rights, and the level that it happens, they don't even talk about. Like, yeah, we're talking about Trump and this search and whether it's constitutional or not, and it's not constitutional. It's not a constitutional search. I don't know who that guy is. Whatever, dude. Everyone wants to be an instigator. You know, and as far as people would say, they look at me and they say, oh, you're coming here to instigate. I don't come to instigate. I come to bring people together.
For people who say Boogaloo Boys are not back the blue, you're out of your fucking mind, okay? 3%ers, Boogaloo Boys, they are still very much back the blue. They literally will sometimes run back the blue stickers and run back the blue fucking decals and shit on their fucking cars. They're wannabe fascists. What the fuck do you mean? They love when the criminal justice system is violent and brutal and oppressive, just not to them. Maybe they're anti-ATF, but that's like the cool thing for libertarians to just be like, I'm anti-ATF because they come in and they kill your dog. And, you know, that's it though.
Like, even these...
No, they are not. Man, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up. This idea that like the fucking Boogaloo Boys across the board. Well, first of all, it's an extremely online group, okay? And it's not like a real fucking movement. But this notion that they aren't like collaborating with cops at the protests that they go to, including like the Kyle Rittenhouse one, where the cops were saying like, oh, thank you for your service, brother, to all the Boogaloo Boys that were there, like routinely fucking giving them bottles of water and like dabbing each other up and shit. Like, what do you think? We don't fucking see it? Shut up.
I would love to have a dialogue with these people and talk about how we're going to save lives in America, because we have all these catastrophes that we're facing. And quite frankly, it is a result of the Biden administration. I don't care who he is. It doesn't matter. I don't care who you are, man. It's about us. We all have grievances. I don't care what group you belong to, whether you're left or right, Democrat, who you voted for. It doesn't matter anymore. If we want to live in a free society, we got to come together. And people like this, institutions like this, were not supposed to exist in our federal government. They weren't, especially to the level that these people abuse it.
See all the voting fraud on frankspeech.com. The cyber...
This is like a zoo webcam live feed? Yes, it's awesome. It's fucking perfect. It's exactly that, and it's fucking dope.
Symposium.
That's Sear if he never left Ohio, okay? What you just saw was right-wing Sear. Sear stayed at Ohio and then moved to Arizona instead of, having a blossoming career on Twitch.
3-day long cyber symposium. Not to mention 2,000 mules. No camera, no camera.
No more pictures, please.
Moz, we got raided by like irate losers. I think we might get botted or some shit. I'm just letting you know. Be on the lookout. I don't know who that is, but I don't know what that is, but it could be like a botted thing. Yeah, that's right. I got my Confederate flag. I'm waving. Arizona.
We definitely need to protest what the FBI is doing.
Which part of the state are you in, sir?
Phoenix.
What do you look to get out of this today?
Show people that they're not the one all alone and feeling like we.
Do you have a Confederate belt buckle
They're
too?
not
No.
alone in opposing government overreach. They're not alone in opposing what the FBI is up to. That's what any demonstration is for, is to tell people that they're not the only ones who feel that way.
Well, spit on the sidewalk too. That way they can write you up for that too.
Anything you want to say, ma'am?
Hey, we really don't want to incite anybody. That's not welcome in this group.
It is. I support that.
Do you?
I support that. I'm not inciting anyone. I'm peacefully protesting just like y'all are.
I wholeheartedly, personally, I support that flag. I think I have it on me. Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, anyone that's this big of a fan of stickers is just not, they don't have their heart in it, okay? If you have a plate carrier with 0 fucking plates in it, or you're wearing like an airsoft vest, and all you've done is put fucking stickers all over it, like, you're not actually in it. Like, you got no skin in the game. All you want is just fucking fun times, okay? That's it. Like, you're just running around trying to have fun with the rest of the hogs. This is no different than like trying to have a barbecue, but because it's America, it's like, you know, this is the most political action you're going to get. And of course, everyone has fucking guns.
Never mind, I'm here for another reason.
Oh my God, look at how many flags she has. Dude, what the fuck? What is he do? What is that, bro?
Yeah, I got too many flags in my hand right now. Can't decide which one.
Anything you want to say? Why are you here today?
Oh, okay.
Protecting rally participants.
From what? The FBI? Good luck.
That's the only reason you came out today?
Well, as a side benefit, I came out in support of President Trump.
Preventing them from accidental discharge from the dude whose gun was just in his fucking waistband. Nah, he might have one of those like tactical carry things that it's like a concealed carry waistband thing that you put. It looked like it. It looked like one of those things. I don't think he just like was raw dogging it.
In the pursuit of happiness, given to us by our great and glorious God on high.
Okay, this dude doesn't even have a flag. That's a weapon. Like a lot of these people, they carry flag poles because they can use the pole as a weapon. Homie is not even like, homie's built like a Bloodborne boss, okay? Look at his wife rolling up behind him. Oh my God, his poor fucking wife. Look at this.
Hallelujah!
Oh, he does have a flag. Never mind. Oh, I love that. He has the POW MIA flag.
Freedom!
Vote Trump for the unborn and religious liberty.
I routinely provide security for my fellow patriots at rallies, protests, whatever. Oh. I've been at the Capitol building, overpasses, I've been all over the freaking place.
Great, I thought you were
We have people, fuck no. Funeral Brothers
Well,
Incorporated now.
You're wearing the same kind of camera.
Amazon, man.
I got to get myself one.
Hey,
No, I was over
this
there
is to cover our butts.
Yeah, the guy came. I turned in there to begin with.
Yeah, that's Phoenix PD Community Services. I already spoke to them.
Oh, okay. I thought he's FBI. So you filming me? He goes, yeah.
This is freedom ringing.
Wow, artistic shots in between. Look at that B-roll, tasteful B-roll.
You say stuff just like a left heart. You say stuff and go away. Joseph Wall.
Listen, let's don't act like them. Let's just love them with the love of the Lord. You got to keep the pace. We don't want to stay at the pace. We don't want to look like them. Our God is an awesome God. And He sent His only begotten Son. Not just for one of us, or for one particular sin.
The thing I'll never understand is how like all these people are just like sitting around yelling and stuff, and not a single one of them goes, yo, are we fucking crazy? Like, are we a little crazy? Like, no time for self-reflection. Like, if I'm standing next to a dude that looks like that and he's just saying like, God is on our side on our holy righteous conquest, we must storm the halls, like all this shit, I'd be like, damn, racist Santa's popping off, but like, are we fucked up? Like, what's happening? What are we doing right now? Not even a single one of them's like, yo, maybe we're just like kind of whack and kind of crazy.
He came and walked amongst us to show us who the Father was and is. So let's acknowledge the love that is what we're supposed to do. You know what the toughest job on earth is? Being able to forgive those who trespass against us.
Dude, look at his hands shaking. Brother, just go home. Go home, man. Like, pick up a different hobby. Like, clearly, you're not...
We can acknowledge that we can forgive ourselves.
Look at him. He can barely hold on to the fucking flag. Like, his hand is shaking.
He of the no sin cast the first stone. But let's accept the fact that we have a job on this earth to do and stand for truth. And that's what we're here for today. I don't care who comes against us. If God gives it, no one can take it away. Where we are weak, He is strong. So let's keep our standing the line under the truth of the living Word of God. That's our power. When we start doing it on our own, we're no better than the enemy.
Truth is on our side.
Amen.
Amen. Truth is on our side. That's why we will not comply with this tyranny. Truth is on our side.
We will resist evil. Whether it was with good intentions or not, we will resist your evil. We don't give a we don't give a damn about your good intentions or your gun laws. We care about the Bill of Rights. We will take all our rights.
I'm gonna be honest, like, there isn't a lot of organizational I'm not seeing a lot of organizing here, okay? They're kind of all over the place. They're basically like they're screaming into the void a little bit. Homie looks like my PUBG character. Yeah, I mean, he's got the load. Yeah. He looks like he picked up the vest from the ground and the gun from the ground, and he's just like piecing it together.
And tell Klaus Schwab he can go fuck himself. You will own nobody, and you will like it. news talk about the Great New Reset. Nobody wants to talk about the Great New Reset. Now you're going to eat bugs and walk on treadmills to produce electricity in the whole Green New world.
You're going to eat bugs and walk on treadmills to produce electricity. Yeah, meanwhile, this guy, he's above it, dude. He's totally outside of the system. He's really figured it out, okay? He's really figured it out. All these guys think that they're so much fucking smarter than the average schlub who has been captivated by the system, okay? I love that. He clearly watched Snowpiercer and Black Mirror. No, it's a 4chan. This is what they talk about in the forums, like bug men. Like you're a bug man. You're a consumer, okay? You're stupid. And all you do is like, you'll eat bugs because they are the most like, they're the only type of protein you will be able to consume in the future. That's what he's saying. Okay. Even Chapo makes jokes about eating the bugs and living in the pods. Yeah. I mean, it's an understandable fear or frustration that we have with the future, okay? As like resources dry up as a consequence of anthropogenic climate change, as all this shit happens, all you will have to be able to eat is just like bugs that are packaged to you and sold to you as though it's like delicious and good. That's the fear that people have. Okay? But ultimately, my point is, it's impossible to escape the system. You're not Ted Kaczynski. Actually, ironically, this is a lot of what we talked about with Chapo. Like, when Chapo was here for the pod, this is exactly what we talked about. Like, all of this. Like, the whole bug eating and how everyone is a bug man. You know what I mean? All this shit. But it's just silliness, because you're not doing an eco-fascism. You're not like organizing. You're just reinforcing or basically playing the same song and dance, and you think you're above it. You think you're above the system when you are absolutely a part of the system. And so am I, by the way. I am too. So is Chapo. So is everybody else. So are the people on Twitter that fucking yell at me and say like, dude, you're a fake socialist. Like everyone is playing that exact same role within the system. Everyone is doing it. You might feel like you're outside of it, but you're not. You're not.
Drop your fucking badge and walk away from your job. It would be better that you starve to death with your fellow countrymen.
If you feel that way about yourself, why don't you change? Do you feel it's impossible? What do you mean if you feel like the way to operate outside of the confines of the system requires at least some level of like revolutionary organizing to be in place? Okay? We are not in that position right now. The fuck are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Like, how? Here's the question. This is why we talk about, like, no ethical consumption under capitalism. Because, like, how do you truly get out of the mainframe? You just tap out of the internet? You just quit? Okay? You build a log cabin somewhere in the fucking woods? You start living on your own? You start living off the land? Is that what you mean? We should start homesteading? Is that how that works? It doesn't work that way. And plus, I don't even want to do that. Like, that's the other thing. I don't have a problem with, like, conspicuous or commodity consumption. Okay? I don't have an issue with that at all. I like it. I don't have a problem with it. It's one of the best parts of neoliberal capitalism. It's the best mechanism of control. And it's actually great. It makes me feel good. And it makes you feel good, too. It's a lie to say it doesn't. That's why people always like refuse to recognize the contradictions when they say like Hasan is fucking. I saw another tweet about this. There was like some YouTuber who was like, what's his name? What's the dude that looks like me but is like super famous? The YouTuber Mark. What was it? Was it Mark? what the fuck was it? God damn it, I can't remember his name now. Markiplier, yeah. Markiplier is like Hasan, but for leftists, right? Like, and I saw that tweet, and I was just thinking, like, yeah, there is an inherent contradiction in that otherwise like joking sentiment, right? The inherent contradiction is like Markiplier is good, Hasan isn't good because Hasan doesn't live his values, the values that I ascribe to him. Whereas Markiplier doesn't live the values, doesn't have to live those same values, right? Even though he is like genuinely so much wealthier than I am, you know what I mean? Like, of course. So the same values that they've ascribed to me that make me a bad person in their eyes are never going to be the same values that they ascribe to them. And that inherent contradiction exists in every kind of... Markiplier is a gaming channel, dude. Yeah. Wasn't it Hasan if you were a good person? No. That was a different one. This was a new one. You wish you looked like them? Yeah, he's a great looking guy. I don't have an issue with him at all. So... No. That other tweet was a long time ago. This was a new one. Hasan, I think you're reading a little too far into it. Don't people love Markipliers? Yeah, they do. And I have no issue with him at all. He seems like a really nice dude. My point is, I'm examining that to try to help people recognize that, like, when you, for example, say something along the lines of like, dude, you're this celebrity that I fucking follow. This celebrity that I fucking follow is not abiding by like the communist standards that I think are the appropriate ones. But this other celebrity who doesn't even do any of that and doesn't have to is actually in my mind, because he has never even like openly stated that his perspective on anything that is like inherently political, that person is good. Why? Because he's not doing politics. He's not actually doing the political thing. Well, that's on purpose. It's so you don't actually fucking yell at people like that. That's why so many brands and so many corporations or so many people that have become brands in our influencer culture truly stay away from politics, because you motherfuckers are impossible to deal with. You know what I mean? You're impossible to deal with. But even that very same, that dynamic that I'm mentioning here is another demonstration of you being very much a part of the system. Tweeting about your favorite fucking online commentators all day, every day, and having them live in your fucking mind to such a degree it implies that you're also a bug man. That's just the bug you're eating. The bug you're eating is online debate culture, online politics. You're held to an astronomically higher standard. The question is whether or not that's justified given the content of your broadcast. But no, I think it's unjustifiable. As Chris Small says, like, I'm just a human. Of course, I was this way before I got poppin', and I was this way after. You know what I mean? Okay? Don't we just like shiny commodities of consumption because we learn to like it? Yeah, but it also it feels good. So I think people should feel good. Okay? Commodities are alienating. We don't need 24 flavors of Oreos. That's you, motherfucker. Speak for yourself, bitch.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Sorry.
And God bless America. So they were in Casa Grande one afternoon.
So that's it.